Hello everyone, it's the Canadian Futures Trader here. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the video.
Gotta get more followers.
If you have not already, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, get notified every time I put out a brand new video. Guys, today it is about time. It is long overdue. I am finally going to enter the world of trade copiers. I did do one test on my laptop really quick last week, but it's time to officially get this going on my desktop and start using this every single day. So back in July, time flies. I wrote an article and also did a little kind of summary of Flowbots as the company, Replikanto is the software. It is NinjaTrader specific, but if you log into multiple accounts in NinjaTrader, you can replicate your trades between those accounts. Now, as well, it does more than just that. You can run it on multiple machines and have it copy over a network. You can manage it remotely. It is very powerful. I am just going to be diving into the basics today and in this video. So I'm going to walk you through the process of how to download it, how to basically install it in NinjaTrader, how to set up which accounts you're copying, and then let's do a little test. Let's do a trade or two and see it in action. So first things first, there's a link down below to Flowbots' website. They actually have several different products. Now, I would say Replikanto is the most popular product, and that's the one we're going to be looking at, but they certainly have other products as well. I have to admit, I have not dug into these in great depth, but for example here, additional machines. So once everything is set up and working great, I'll be able to go buy an additional machine and then run it over my local network. So under Replikanto, let's go to select options. Now you see it says 0 to 249, and that does depend on what options you choose. Now, on their website, they fully describe everything that it does. So for example, you don't have to copy one for one. You know, it's not like, okay, I'm trading, 3 Ultra Bond lots in this account, trade 3 in a different account. No, you can say, hey, if I'm trading X amount in one account, trade some other amount in a different account, or even maybe trade a different product. Maybe you trade, they even have some examples here. You trade ES in one, and it replicates MES, the micro, in a different account. Nonetheless, guys, I'm just going to download the trial for now. Let's do it, but certainly just a quick look at the options here. So single machine lifetime, 2 machines lifetime, or you can pay for a year. From what I remember, the difference between, so say a single machine a year and a single machine lifetime is $50. So if you do think you're going to be using it, just go ahead and buy the lifetime license. And of course, you can download the trial. The trial is good for 5 days. It's what I did on my laptop. It's what I'm going to do today. Let's give the trial a test, and it's fully functional. So click add to cart. Obviously, this is not brain science, guys. I think most of you can figure this out, but I just wanted to show what it is. I'm going to proceed to the checkout. Okay guys, so I went through the checkout process. I didn't show that. It was all my personal information. We are confirmed, and you will receive an email with the download link to install your trial. So here is the email you've received from Flowbots. They have the download link. It comes automatically. So we are going to download this, and then we'll move on to the next step of basically installing it, importing it into NinjaTrader. Also, I should mention, I'm going to show you how to import it, but they tell you right here, and it's very simple. To install, open NinjaTrader, click on Tools, Import, NinjaScript add-on, select the zip file that we just downloaded, click Open. It is the exact same process that you use to import any sort of add-on, indicator, etc. So here in NinjaTrader, I'm not logged into any of my accounts, don't need to be. As they say, Tools, Import, NinjaScript add-on, and here in my downloads folder is the file. We're going to hit that. We're going to hit open. We get a little pop-up message here. Includes add-ons, which run automatically, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Now, importing sometimes takes a few seconds. Now we get another warning. Going to go ahead and hit yes. They're just confirming, hey, you sure you want to import this? And there we go. NinjaTrader requires you shut down and restart the application for the assembly. Replikanto. Let's do it. Okay guys, when you restart NinjaTrader, nothing looks different, and you might say to yourself, how do I use this fantastic software? Now, the markets are currently closed. I'm recording this on a Sunday, late afternoon. It's a couple hours before the markets open. But where I would go is under New, you'll see down here now Flowbots and Replikanto. So let's open it up. Okay guys, so once you open it up, you can do several things from this box. Now you can drag it and make it bigger. It actually originally starts smaller. You can spread it out if you want. So currently in NinjaTrader, I'm signed into my Earn to Trade account and my NinjaTrader brokerage account. So all I have hidden is my account numbers here, but I am signed into both of them. If I wasn't, you wouldn't be able to see these here. So basically it is saying, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to copy? So here you can select your product. I'm just going to select YM. Here you choose your leader account. So you tell it which account you want to be the leader. So from here you choose your leader account. Now again, I don't want to show my account numbers, but if I drop this down, you can kind of tell there's three options here. There's Sim 101. One of these is my Earn to Trade account. One of these is my personal brokerage account. So you select which account is going to be the one you're actually executing trades on. So let's just leave it as Sim 101 for now, and then I can get rid of this yellow box. So basically we're saying, hey, use the Sim 101 account, which is kind of a NinjaTrader default account, if you will. And how do you want to copy? The exact quantity, meaning if I trade one contract of YM in my Sim account, it would duplicate it to whichever accounts I select over here. Now, I haven't selected any yet, but I'll show you that in a second. You could also, there's a lot of options here, so I don't quite want to go through all of them. You kind of have to figure out what works best for you. Not knowing the software that great, I'm just going to use exact quantity for now. So if I trade 4 lots of YM on Sim 101, trade 4 lots of YM on these other accounts. Now, let's turn them on. So when you click the little button, it turns it greens. That means that this will actually do it. Unless you actually tell it, hey, yes, copy trades from this account into these accounts, it's not going to do it. So by clicking the little button, now it is on. You see that right there. It is in the on column. Now, a few more things, and I'm going completely off of just observation and what I've seen other people do. So for one, it has crossover here. And if I click on crossover, you'll see this change to MYM. So now it's going to trade the micro YM. I personally do not know. So say I trade 4 YM, is it going to trade 4 micro YM or is it going to trade 40? My guess would be it will trade 4 in the similar account. A few other things worth noting. I know that you can trade across networks. That's one thing I mentioned early in the video. This is, I believe, where you would set that up. Your local network IP. Connect that, and I'm assuming you would then see your other machines, assuming it's on and connected and all that stuff, and then you would be making selections of those accounts as well. Another thing worth noting, this is just for setting up one product. So what would happen if I, say, traded ES? I know a lot of you like ES in this account. Well, nothing would happen because I don't have anything set up within Replikanto. You can add additional products here. So maybe I add, let's click, and now we have a second one. It just basically duplicates the first one. So under ratio, it looks like you can specify the ratio. So say for every 1 ZB contract on my Sim account, I want to trade 2 in Earn to Trade and 3 in my normal account. All right, well, let's give it a try here. We'll type 2 here and we'll type 3 here. Now I'm not actually going to start firing away in my own personal account with this set up. I'm more just showing you how to set it up. I would definitely recommend giving it a test run in a very sort of limited fashion, especially with your own, whether it's the evaluation accounts or your personal accounts. I think that covers the basics of Replikanto. Again, I'm no expert. I'm setting this up. This is further than I've ever gone. But I want to show you what it was like to set up. So what I will do is I will actually maybe set these up a little bit more thoroughly, and I'll do some trading with it, and I'll show you that in action. I'll show you what happens when I set up, say, a leader in one account and show it executing trades in both accounts at the same time, or maybe 3 accounts. You never know. Okay guys, so for the next part of the video, I was originally going to split this into 2 videos, but I realized the first part is pretty simple. I think most people figure that out. So let's get to actually trying out this trade replicator. Now, I have NinjaTrader up. I have my account information hidden, so it's not going to be quite obvious what these are, but one of them is Earn to Trade. One of them is the Sim 101 account that comes with NinjaTrader, and one of them is my own personal brokerage account. So the 2 that I'm going to trade are Sim 101, which you see up here on Jigsaw, and I'm going to put them side by side. And on the left, I'm going to trade my Earn to Trade account. and I actually just changed it to earn to trade. Again, you can't see my account information. I have it covered. The only reassurance I can give you, you can see the stars up here. This one is blanking out NT8-SIM101. You see the one on the left here is much longer. That is because it is my earn to trade account, which has a much longer name. Okay, guys, so I'm going to bring up Replikanto again. Let's go to new Flowbots Replikanto. So with Replikanto up, let's just recap what we're looking at. On the right-hand side here, we have Jigsaw Day Trader. I feel like this is going to be the best way to see it in action. So what I'll do is I'll execute a trade on one of these, the leader, and we should see it immediately executed on the left-hand side as well. So I'm going to set the right-hand side as the leader account. The left-hand account will be the follower. This is a depth of market. Again, on the right, NT Sim 101. On the left, my earn to trade account. Now, I typically trade 4 lots on earn to trade. So let's have some fun with this. And right here in Replikanto, I have the product selected. I have the leader account is Sim 101, which is here, and I'm going to do ratio. So here's my 2 other accounts here. Again, I have my account numbers hidden, but you can see the names here. So for earn to trade, we're going to enable it. And we're going to set the ratio at 4. And I'm going to hit enter. And so if all things are set up as I believe they should be, every time I execute a trade on the sim, it will multiply the quantity by 4 and execute that over here on earn to trade. So let's give it a try. Now I have my defaults already kind of set to those quantities. In part, if I want to set a stop loss or something like that, kind of on the fly, want to make sure, we're not goofing up our account, basically. But I would much rather do it on an earn to trade account than on my own personal account and have something go awry. I don't suspect. So I should mention, too, this is a Sunday evening, so there's not as much activity. It's going to be a little bit difficult for us to get in much trouble. Guys, let's do this, our very first Replikanto Trade Copier. Now, before I get to it, I know you guys are anticipating at what will happen. I should say, I'm doing this way in Jigsaw to show it because we'll be able to quickly see if it executes on both of these. You could certainly bring up NinjaTrader and bring up the charts for the 2 different accounts and look at it that way. However you want to monitor it. And one thing I didn't quite show, but when you bring up Replikanto, it does give you a pop-up and say, hey, it's your responsibility to monitor all your positions. You can't just fly around and do a bunch of stuff and then blame them if something goes amiss. It's up to you to actually make sure everything is working properly, because I'm sure people screw this up. They think something is one way, it's another. I could very well be one of those people. Who knows? So it is my responsibility, and I think that's more than fair. Guys, let's enter a trade. Now, there is not much activity, so we might not be too exciting, but let's give it a try, and if we have to, we will switch to a more exciting product. Okay, how about, I haven't even been watching the order flow, so this is more of an example trade, not this is what I think it's doing trade. Let's just go short, and let's go right here. So I'm going to execute right here at 154. I have the DOMs lined up. Let's see what happens, guys, right now, right here. Here we go. Order fill. Hey, so it actually worked. Now, here's what kind of happened there. You see the prices are slightly off. I went short 1 contract on the sim account, and you see it right here, -1. My earn to trade account tried to go short 4 contracts, but there wasn't 4 contracts sitting there, so it filled 2 of them. If you go back and watch it, I'm not going to bother because I know what it did. It went short 2, and then it filled 2 more at the next price. There's something to that effect. So we didn't get an exact 1-for-1 trade there, but that was in part because of order flow. But you did see it happen pretty immediately there. On the Replikanto side, we don't see anything here. Down here in the P&L box, now it is pretty obvious which is which. This is the sim account, which is -15, -20, unrealized P&L, and this is the earn to trade one. Now, I don't have my commission set on the earn to trade account, so that's part of why here you see realized P&L -202. I have fake commission set for the sim account so that I can goof around with it and simulate things like it is a real account with commissions. I just never set them. So I know a lot of little quirks here that maybe hopefully aren't making it more confusing. Basically, I'm saying don't worry about the minus 202 and the 0 here. I just never enabled commissions on my Earn to Trade account. Okay, guys, so I'm just kind of letting this play. We're seeing the two DOMs move lockstep. I mean, there's not much more to the trade side. Nothing else is going to happen. How about, this is something I absolutely actually don't know. Let's set a stop loss now that we're in the green. And I'm going to just recenter these. Let's set a stop loss. Let me see if it does it on both. Now, this might get tricky because the stop loss, I believe when I do it on Jigsaw, doesn't actually go to NinjaTrader, which means Replikanto's not going to see it anything. Let's give it a try. I guess we'll find out really quickly here. So no, so you don't see the stop loss pop up over here. I really wasn't expecting it to. I'm pretty sure this stays local in Jigsaw. I'm not even pretty sure. I know it does. So that's why it doesn't. So for myself, if I did this, I would have to actually be monitoring this. And that is part of why I set my quantity as for right from the start. Wanted to make sure that I had a quick way to kind of manage my own trades if I had to. So does Replikanto work? Yes, it was very quick. I'm personally not concerned about the fact that filled 2 and then filled 2 at a like one-off price. That is just a factor of the sim account, and there wasn't quantity there to fill for. But hey, the ratio worked out awesome. So tell you what, let's do something else. Let me close out of these positions, especially since our Earn to Trade one here is looking mighty fine. I honestly don't care as much about the sim one. This one we can just flat. Order fell. Actually, caught me off guard. Again, wasn't ready for it. Since I hit flat over here, remember that did execute NinjaTrader, it flatted my Earn to Trade position as well. So going flat obviously worked. The only thing that didn't cross over was the stop loss, and that was, I believe, just because of Jigsaw. Guys, let's try one other thing. Okay, guys, the only change I've really made is I changed it to exact quantity. So change of plans, let's actually make this round one contract. And the reason I'm doing that is just so we get a fill. We know that, one contract will fill. So let's set up a sell. Kind of thinking about going long here. Let's go long. Let's just go long right here and see what happens. Boom, filled. That quick, guys. It does happen lightning fast. We got the same price. Perfect. And because it was one contract, we did get filled. Now, one thing I want to draw your attention to, even though we got filled right here at the price of 155, exact same trade, our unrealized P&L is slightly different. Part of that is just how these two different sims count for what your P&L is. Now, there is not a lot of trading activity. So one of them is going off the last traded quantity. One of them is going off of, I believe, what you would get if you flat it at this point. But they are very much in the same realm, and you see right now they are at the same unrealized P&L, in part because the last traded quantity is also where we are sitting at on the DOM. So I'm not going to let this trade get too out of hand. I am going to go flat over here on the right-hand side. Of course, we should immediately see the right-hand side go flat as well. And you should also see, depending on where you want to watch, you can watch the P&Ls over here or watch the unrealized P&Ls here. Of course, now it's up in my area. I'm not too worried about a $5 or $10 winner or loser. Let's just go ahead, hit flat, see what happens. Order filled. Order filled, and we are out, guys. So so we did exact quantity, we did ratio. I'm not quite sure what equal quantity would be relative to exact quantity. Now, I will say this. All of this is spelled out on the Replikanto Flowbots website, so I could go read it. I'm not going to, though. Most likely for myself, I'm going to be doing one of those two things most of the time. You can certainly get crazy with some of these other options. I'm also, and I will make a video when I eventually do this, going to set up a local network, and then I will connect this to my laptop. I'm currently recording this on my desktop, and then that will give me the ability to trade, say, an Earn to Trade account, my personal account, so replace the sim account with my personal account, and then log into a second Rhythmic account in NinjaTrader on a different machine and connect to it through here. I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to record all of that and show it. I think I'll just have to record both laptops and then edit the video together to show them side by side and show you how the trades execute. We will figure that out at a later date. But guys, that should give you a nice introduction to Flowbots and Replikanto. I say it works exactly as advertised. It did exactly what I expected. So this will be fun. I will, of course, I'm not just going to trade a sim account that has no meaning for too long. I just maybe want to test it out. What I will be doing is changing this to my own personal account and then trading it alongside with Earn to Trade, and then I'll actually be trading the treasuries. I just know on a Sunday evening there's probably not a whole lot of activity, so to get anything I wanted to bring these up. Guys, I think that is all I wanted to demonstrate with Replikanto. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I do not claim to be an expert, but maybe, just maybe, I know the answer, or maybe I've done some more testing and can answer your questions for you. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.